There's a simple but powerful idea that we're going to dive into today, and it's this. If you can truly change your mindset, you can absolutely 100% change your life.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Just think about it for a second. Is your mindset, the way you think, your greatest asset? Is it pushing you forward? Or is it actually your biggest obstacle, the very thing that's holding you back? Well, the answer to that question is really at the heart of this incredible story we're going to get into. It's about a beggar, and his journey shows us just how much power our own inner story has over everything we experience. All right, so our story kicks off with this beggar, right? And his whole world, his entire reality, was built around this idea of scarcity, this feeling of not enough. Picture this, a super busy train station. And every single day, this guy's life is just one single action, asking for money. In his mind, the only way he could survive was to take from other people, to be a receiver. That was his world. And then, one day, bam, everything changes. He walks up to this sharp-looking businessman asking for a handout like he always does. But instead of getting a coin, he gets a question that just completely knocks him off his feet. You are always asking, do you ever give anything to anyone? And you can see right there, it's just two totally different ways of looking at the world, isn't it? The beggar's mindset was all about scarcity. I have nothing to offer, so I have to ask. But the businessman, he saw things differently. He operated on value. He basically told him, look, I'm a merchant. I believe in give and take. I only do business when there's an exchange of value.
So yeah, that one question, it was like a seed was planted. It totally forced the beggar to look at himself in a new way and take that first, really tough step towards becoming something different. The first step of giving.
Those words just stuck with him. They haunted him. For 2 whole days, all he could think about was that one question. I mean, he was a beggar, he had nothing, so what in the world could he possibly give to somebody else?
And then it hit him. He saw some wildflowers growing near the train station, and this simple, brilliant idea just popped into his head. He decided right then and there that from now on, whenever someone gave him something, he'd give them something back. He'd give them a flower.
And you know what? The result was immediate, like right away. People were so touched by it. They weren't just dropping a coin out of pity anymore. No, they were getting a little gift in return. And because of that small exchange, they started giving him more money and way more often. He had accidentally created this little loop of generosity.
So this tiny little change in what he did started this huge, massive shift in who he was. He wasn't just a beggar anymore. He was becoming something else. He was becoming a merchant.
A little while later, who does he see on the train? The same businessman. But this time was totally different. The beggar walks up to him, not with his hand out, but with a flower, ready to offer it in return for some money. He had something of value. The businessman was blown away. He loved it. He gave the man some money, took the flower, and then he said something that would literally change this man's life forever. He smiled and said, "Wow, amazing. Today, you too have become a merchant like me." And boom, that one sentence just completely flipped his world upside down. It hit him like a ton of bricks. People weren't giving him charity anymore. They were buying his flowers. He wasn't a beggar. In that moment, in his own mind, he became a merchant.
So once he started seeing himself differently, everything else started to fall into place. And the transformation that followed, wow, it was just incredible.
And what's crazy is how fast it all happened. Think about it. Day 1, he's just asking. By day 3, he's a giver, offering flowers. And then, just 6 months after that moment on the train, the same man is a successful flower merchant, wearing his own suit. So fast forward a few more months, and they meet a third, final time. And this is the best part. Now they're both standing there, 2 successful businessmen in suits. They recognize each other, and the former beggar shakes the businessman's hand and just tells him everything. How those 2 small moments completely changed the entire direction of his life.
So what does this whole story teach us? It really boils down to this fundamental rule of success. We only really get what we want when we start giving first. It's proof that your thoughts, your mindset, they don't just influence your reality, they literally create it.
So, the big takeaways here are pretty clear. First off, who you are follows what you think. If you think you're a beggar, you'll act like one. Think you're a merchant, you'll find a way to become one. Which leads to the next point. You've got to start by giving, even if it feels small. That simple act builds self-respect. And finally, and this is the big one, if you want to become big, you absolutely have to start by thinking big. And that brings it all the way back to you, and that first question I asked. After hearing this story, really think about it. What is your mindset forcing you to believe about yourself right now, about who you are and what you're actually capable of? Because figuring that out, well, that might just be the key to your own incredible transformation.